Hi everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 4 of my best bets for tomorrow's horse racing action. Now before we get stuck into that, I just want to recap on how our selections have performed today. In the end, we have come out with a loss today, frustratingly, as apart from Vivas, who got the place money, everything else ran below par. Vivas was start of our highlight of the day. I thought he had every chance at one point going over the last, but he just got out-battled by a stronger stayer, by the young wolf there for John Joe O'Neill, who never gave up, and Vivas, to be fair to him, I had no complaints at all about the performance of the horse. He tried his best. We did advertise him last night as my long shot at 10-1 each way, but pretty much as soon as I uploaded this video, a couple of non-runners come through and he shortened up in price a little bit, so there would have been a rule 4 if you did get on the bigger prices of Vivas there, but he still ran a good race and he gave us a good run for our money, and he was there with every chance, but in the end, like I said, he just got out-battled. Away from that, yes, it was very disappointing today. The Nap Mango Chutney, obviously I know a lot of people are going to be talking out their pocket there. In the end, I just think the run was too bad to be true. Some people saying the horse should have got more prominent, should have been up with the front. No, he shouldn't have. The jockey didn't give it a bad ride at all. That's the way he likes to be ridden. Horses like him normally likes to be held up out the back. They want a strong pace, which there was, but in the end he just didn't pick up. Maybe something might come to light about the horse, so always look at some of the sites like the Racing Post that maybe might quote some of the trainers afterwards. Always try and find out, if you can, if there was a reason why the horse ran below par, because sometimes it's not always as obvious as it first seems. So yeah, very disappointed. I'm frustrated. Obviously he could never even feature in the race because the way he ran last time, coming off a strong pace, definitely suited him, but tonight he just didn't want to know. So Mango Chutney, yes, he was very disappointing there, but I can't blame jockey or the way the race was run. He had every chance, but he just wasn't in the mood for it tonight, and that's the way it goes. But hopefully it was just a blip and we can get back amongst the winners tomorrow on the Naps. Away from that, our other selections, Systematic just finished in 4th place. They gave an easy lead to, I think it was the First King that won the race in the end. And in the end, Systemic, I should say, finished in 4th place. Some bookmakers were paying on the 4 places. I should have mentioned that last night. So if you did get the 4 places, you would have at least got a bit of the place money back there. Also as well, our other selection that ran today was Ornate, the next best. Got picked off by Al Jardy in the end. No excuses for Ornate. I thought personally he was definitely better treated at the weights, which he was. He was receiving, I think it was £11 from Al Jardy, but Al Jardy really sorry, Al Jardy really did show there that he has really taken a step up this season and looks a very improving sprinter, and who knows, maybe a listed race or a Group 3 now could be on the agenda, because he'd probably be a little bit high in the weights now to be running in handicap. So yeah, I got it a bit wrong today, and it's the way it goes. You're always going to have your bad days as well as your good days. Obviously we've had a lot of good moments in September already, but hopefully just the last few days have just been a little bit of a blip and we can get back on it tomorrow. So without further ado, let's get into the tips for tomorrow's racing. Now we're going to be starting actually with my Nap tomorrow, which runs over the jumps at Perth in the 4:15, and this is the feature race of the day there. But I'm not going to be going with the favourite, Le Bagua for Angrerex. I am going to be going with Jarveys Plate for Paddy Brennan and Fogel O'Brien. You can currently get him at 10-3 with bookmakers at the moment, and I think that is a fair price there. Now this horse is a class act on his day. He's got a mark of 141, and last season he won fresh when winning a listed novice chase at Chepstow, beating Grade 1 winning hurdler Reserve Tank. He then went to show that he still was very capable afterwards, and it wasn't a fluke. However, he probably just got outclassed running in a couple of Group 1s, most notably at Kempton which I think was on Boxing Day if I remember. But Jarveys' plan, he's shown a good level of ability already during his career, you know, and he's even a course winner at Perth, so that's another tick in the box. And I just think tomorrow could be the time to catch him. Fergal O'Brien's team are in cracking form. They're operating 38% strike rate in the last couple of weeks, and who knows how long their run's going to go for, but I always associate them with doing quite well at this time of year, around about the autumn period. So Jarveys' plate, I think, has got a good chance tomorrow. Now, the reason I would be against Le Bagua, even though she has got a good record fresh, is that I just don't think we've seen enough of it recently to see that if she's got the ability. Her best performance arguably last season was the third place finish at Doncaster, when it was a great finish, I remember, with Lady Buttons. But even so, apart from that, she was quite disappointing last year. Obviously, on her day, she's a class mare. You know, she was Grade 1 winner at Kempton, beating the likes of Top of the Game, who went on to win the RSA that year, and also as well Santini, who's made the frame in the Gold Cup. You know, so obviously on her day, she's very capable, and you've got to respect her. But I just think it could be a bit of a tough ask for her tomorrow, and Jarveys' plate is the improver of this field, no doubt, and we know he can go well fresh, winning last season. Also as well, he wouldn't probably want the ground too deep, but it's going to be good to soft ground at Perth tomorrow, so the ground shouldn't be a problem. An informed yard, and I just think at the prices, he's got a bit more scope about him than obviously Le Bagua, who it was revealed it is going to be our last season this year before she goes to the breeding shed. So for me, Jarveys' plate at 10-3, I think he's got a cracking chance, and I would be disappointed if he wasn't there or thereabouts coming the winning line. We then go to Listowel for the Kerry National, the feature race on the day there tomorrow, and we're going with Spyglass Hill here for Rachel Blackmore and Henry de Bromhead. Now, this horse, yeah, you're going to have to forgive his last run when he was pulled up in the Galway plate. He was fairly well fancied for that race out there. I think he was around about 10-1 in the betting, and he travelled perfectly well for a long way, but then he just made a mistake, and then they decided to keep him safe for a better day. You know, he was never going to get back in the race, you know, so yeah, you're going to have to forgive him for that effort. However, I think he's still fairly well treated off his mark of 146. He had plenty of good form last season as a novice, winning a couple of times over fences, and we know he can stay 3 miles from his hurdling days, so that's not an issue at all. And Henry de Bromhead and Rachel Blackmore actually won this race last year with Poker Party, so they know what they're doing. And also as well, the winner of this race normally has a progressive profile. I think the last 4 or 5 winners have been 7-year-olds, and Spyglass Hill is a 7-year-old, so he does tick a lot of boxes. Also as well, Henry de Bromhead stable have been in better form of late, and I just think this horse has got a very good chance in this race tomorrow. I'm going to recommend him as my long shot tomorrow. You can currently get 9-1, and I think it's Paddy Power playing 6 places. If not, it will tell you how many places are on offer with the bookmakers recommended in the description box below. But there are plenty of extra places around with some of the bookmakers tomorrow, so make sure, if you can, try and get the best price with as many places as possible. But I think Spyglass Hill, he's got a lot to like about his chances tomorrow, and I would be disappointed if he wasn't there or thereabouts. We then go with our extra tip tomorrow. So Goodwood for the 440 with a horse called Pettochside, the Savvy Osborne and John Bridger. Now this horse is currently 5-1 with bookmakers at the moment, and I'm going to recommend a win-only bet for him. Now he's trained by John Bridger, and Savvy Osborne's booked for the ride, claiming a handy £7 off the horse's back. Now, last time we saw him, he finished 3rd at Goodwood when running a really credible race, and he's been running really well the last couple of starts. The time before that, he finished 2nd when Kieran Fallon was about that day, carrying top weight in a fairly decent handicap there. So he's definitely been running well, and Goodwood is definitely his favourite track. And the key tomorrow could be the ground. Now, it's currently described as good ground at Goodwood, but there is definitely a strong possibility of some rain around tomorrow, and if the rain does come, that's going to suit him down to a T. A lot of his best form has come with juice in the ground. He's won at Goodwood a few times in his career when there has been rain in the ground, so if there is a bit of rain around tomorrow, that's definitely going to suit him. And Savvy Osborne's been riding well. She actually did us a favour a couple of weeks ago when we put her up to win on Dream Today, which actually was in that race at Pettochside, came 3rd in, and also as well, she was a winner the other day in an apprentice race at Leicester when she won aboard Julia Fielding's Spanish Main. So she's definitely got some momentum about her at the moment, Saffie Osborne, and with that £7 claim and riding on a horse that loves the track and also as well might have conditions in his favour. I just think at 5-1 tomorrow, he's definitely well treated in this field, and going back to 5 shouldn't be a problem. I expect him to be there or thereabouts, and I think he's going to get his head in front tomorrow. We then go the next best, which then runs at Perth with our final tip in the 5:20, and I'm going with Joly Maker here for John Joe O'Neill Jr. riding for his dad, John Joe O'Neill, in the colours of JP McManus. Now this horse tomorrow, you can currently back it at 4-1. Now I know JP McManus does have the favourite for this race with another runner who's trained by Neil Mulholland, and Richie McClernand's booked for the ride there. That's Lake Bacall. But I just thought Lake Bacall, I don't think he necessarily wants to go up and trip, and I think Joly Maker out of the two is definitely the one you want to be on, and he's definitely got a little bit more to come. He won 2 starts ago at Bangor on D over 2.5 miles, and then he was made favourite last time out when he went to Fontwell. And even though he did travel very strongly into the race, I just think he bumped into a well handicapped horse in Tasca for the grade, and secondly, B, he was quite unlucky, I thought, actually, in the running up the straight there, because a couple of times, a few of the jumps, he got badly hampered, and John Joe, he had to switch him out. I'd watch anyone to go back and watch that race replay at Fontwell, you know, because he just didn't get the smoothest of passages, and he was staying on best up the hill, you know. So if he can get a little bit more of a passage free ride tomorrow, you know, not in so many traffic problems, I think he's definitely still unexposed. He's still a 6-year-old as well, so you'd like to think there's a bit more to come. Off a mark of 96, I just think he's the one you want to be on tomorrow. Also as well, John Joe O'Neill Jr. rode a double today for his dad, so jockey and stable obviously in good form. And I just think at 4-1, that's a bit of a price there, and I wouldn't be at all surprised actually if he was a little bit shorter at the start of the race tomorrow. So there are the 4 tips for tomorrow. We start with the 4:15 at Perth with Jarveys Plate is my nap at 10-3 win only bet. We then go to Listowel for the Kerry National with Spyglass Hill at 9-1 each way. We then go to the 4:40 at Goodwood with Pettochside for Saffie Osborne and John Bridger, 5-1 win only bet. That's the extra tip. And then the next best runs in the 5:30 at Perth with Joly Maker, currently 4-1 win only bet. So they're the tips for tomorrow's racing. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button for more videos here on my YouTube channel. Also as well, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do, where my handle is at LuckyLoader15. And also as well, if you want to check out a full portfolio of my work, my website is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.